not postseason, but post-game podcast. You have the whole crew here. My name's Evan Hill. You have Brian Nemhauser, Jeff Simmons, and Nathan Ernst to break down the game for you. If I pull up the game real quick, I believe the Seahawks. Does anybody have the score right now between the Seahawks Broncos? 22-6.
22-6.
So it has been quite a game. Paxton has been balling out, and we're super excited to break down the game for you guys. For those of you guys who are not aware of how this season is going to go or have not heard the announcement, basically we are adding a post-game show to our regular weekly schedule. So previously we did just Wednesday nights, but now we are adding a Wednesday night podcast on top of our post-game podcast. So instead of our emotions calming down and our takes calming down 3 or 4 days after the game is fresh in our minds. We just watched it minutes ago. So hopefully we can provide you guys with some good analysis. So without a doubt, this has been one of the most riveting Seahawks preseason games in recent history. So we're super excited to break down the game. First question, fellas, let's just dive right into it. Jeff, let's start with you. Jeff, who surprised you the most during this game? Who caught your eye? Who surprised you?
I say the guy is Ugo Amadi. And how he looked in film. His game speed jumped off the page to me today. Special teams, his speed when he was playing the nickel, he looked. That really jumped off the page to me. That was more of a second half thing. Obviously, Jazz Ferguson looked really, really good. Started to catch some buzz a lot in the second half. I know it's against like third or fourth stringers, but Paxton Lynch, all reports on him were that he was like unbearably terrible, and he was fun to watch. Like the second half of Seahawks, like these games that exposed the depth of that game was a lot of fun. There was a lot of names playing that we talked about, and that's been a big change since like 2016, 17, 18. So I'd say those are my three names.
How do you think it feels to be a Broncos fan tonight to watch Paxton just absolutely tear up your defense? Must not be fun.
Yeah, it is. But man,
Drew Lock doesn't look very good against those third stringers, though.
No, Drew Lock looked terrible.
Yeah, he's bad.
No, it would be like if Malik McDowell came back and all of a sudden like ripped up the Seahawks offensive line.
Brian, how about you? Who stood out to you tonight?
Comparison you can make.
I've mentioned, but Marquise Blair got his first personal foul penalty. I loved watching him come down the line and get a tackle for loss. It was great seeing him. He dealed. So 2 check marks there, and then he just made a big hit in the open field. So, yeah, I think that was probably the most exciting for me, having really not gotten a chance to see him play. I would add more, but I want to leave some for Nathan. If he doesn't mention it, I've got one more in mind that I'll bring up.
Nathan, do you have somebody different?
If he doesn't.
I wasn't paying attention. Burton?
No. That's all you.
I was going to say, if you didn't.
Yeah, no, I thought he looked pretty good. He really laid a nice hit on in some short yardage. Was flowing to the ball really well. Confident out there and everything. Even if he didn't look like spectacular necessarily, I thought he had. So he was someone that I was excited to see, and I thought he played well. I don't know if he looked like a guy that is going to be like amazing, just based on what we saw tonight. But I thought he looked real good.
Yeah, Quentin Jefferson is another player that really stood out in the first half to me. Saw a lot of action on the defensive line. he was getting in the backfield, getting several tackles for losses. That was